Alright, so because of new balance patch, y'all, and the expansion that just dropped, well, the classes, it's probably a good time to go over at least my build, since I play warrior, and I know a lot of people still like to play warrior. I'm going to do this in ranked. I'm going to play this build in ranked, and I hope that we can get some wins. So for the video, that will be kind of showcased highlights as to how well this build did. And whether or not we do well, that's going to define how I'm going to edit this, okay? But essentially, Paragon was supposed to be, I guess they were going with the support spec. But from my experience and just playing Warriors so much, I feel like it's actually more of a duelist that has more survivability than the other Warrior builds because of the commands, right? So with what I've kind of created here is, well, I don't know, it could be standard, right? But it is a bunker build. It is defense, discipline, and Paragon. Now, I'm running defense with Call of the Weak for the extra damage on weakness, the resistance, dodge roll trait, and then cleansing ire, as well as axe mastery for the axe, because I'm running axe mace build, destruction of the empowered instead of the weapon swap. I'll explain why in a bit. And then the warrior speed. And then for the Paragon, I'm doing top for extra motivation once you engage in combat. Heal yourself and gain adrenaline for each point of motivation spent. And then the dealing increased damage based on motivation level here. These three here make axe very, very strong. Like you can F1 with your axe and hit about 7 to 8k when you align it properly, right? So we're running Berserker Amulet, Relic of Discaran, Fighter Rune. I'm doing Cleansing and Energy on Staff, and then Axe and Mace with Battle and Intelligence. Mending is probably still the best hill in the game because of the cooldown and also the condition removal. And then you have Banner of Tactics for the super speed, the resistance, and the 5 stability. You can run Endure Pain, but it's very situational. I think the skill you don't want to give up is Balance Stance, and then because you can't be crit and you pull stability, Rampage, best in slot, and then Bull's Charge for mobility. Also, it's a great utility skill. It has really a lot of different uses, and you've seen that in the past. But the reason why you can take Destruction of Empowered over the Brawler's Recovery now is the chants here. They actually work the same way that your F1 adrenaline skills used to work. So you can cleanse your conditions with them. You can gain adrenal health with them. Right? So all the adrenaline bonuses that you would get normally with just your F1 skill, you get them with the rest of them. So you can, I mean, if you need a oh shit button to cleanse like all your condies and you have the adrenaline for it, you can just pop all your motivation skills and cleanse all your condies because cleansing ire doesn't have a cooldown at all, right? It also stacks adrenal health, so that also gives you more survivability. Ultimately, the reason this build I feel is the best setup is with staff. You have the mobility, you have the unblockable, you have still your auto attacks do a lot of damage when you have this setup. The fury gain, the block, the pool, and then axe mace is always just like a really good combo, right? Because the mace 5 with the knockback, the 4 that gives the vulnerability, you can combo that and basically one-shot anyone if you stun it properly. The F1 skill, right? You land that like 4.5k on a heavy elite golem. The auto attack's doing almost 2.5k on an elite golem. Really good damage coming out of this. So the bunker, the tankiness of this build plus the damage you get from the modifiers are so good. With your chants, right, the way I utilize them is this one is a boon uptime. So this one you can kind of pop as you need. If you want to, you know, I always start the fights mainly with this one just because you get a lot of fury and you get a lot of might. This one is a really good defensive one in case you need the extra barrier, the vigor, and the regeneration. It also grants, yeah, as I said, barrier not just to you but to your allies. And then this one, the Chant of Freedom, is a stun break, so it's an additional stun break. But also the stability is very helpful. Sometimes I'll use it preemptively if I need stability, because it's a 26-second cooldown, right? So it's a lot better than a balance stance at 50 or a banner of tactics at 30 if you just need one. So that's kind of the playstyle that I use this build with. I think as far as what you're looking to do in ranked, it's definitely a side node build, but it does have application to go into team fights with the amount of damage and the support, especially when if you decide to use barrier instead of endure pain, and also with your chance, because these also benefit your allies. Do I feel like there might be a place in the future? I don't know about now because the meta is so new with everything going on. I don't know how good this will be in like tournament play. We'll try some today, but I feel like there might be in the future if the stars align, there is definitely a place for this build to replace the current side node builds that are out, right? So let's just, I guess we'll start playing a little bit.